YouTube, what's happening? It is Thursday, August 8th. And as you can see, we only got 10 games to talk about in baseball today. Last game of the series for most of these, except for one brand new series with Philly and Arizona. That should be a fun one. Drop a like and subscribe. Went 10-5 yesterday, plus 2.76 units. That puts us back right to that 60 unit mark. Seem to be hovering around 60 units for the past couple weeks now. Hey, and I'll take that. As long as I'm not losing, I'm okay with it. Matter of fact, in the comments, tell me how you're doing this season. I know baseball is one of the hardest sports to bet on, so tell me how you're doing. Are you up? Are you down? How much are you up? Are you even tracking it? Some don't. They just bet. So I just want to see what everybody's doing. You see what I do. I put it on the screen every single day. So I want to see those in the comments. Outside of that, we got the 10 games. Let's just go ahead and jump into that first game right now. All right, first game, we got San Francisco and Washington. Noon first pitch today, Eastern. Early. So you can see San Fran's a slight favorite. 8.5 is your total. Looking over at the weather report. Yes, we're going to add this every time now. Let's get that ad out of here. We can see it is going to most likely be storming. A lot of chance of rain. Windy, wind blowing to the left. It's going to be a nasty. It might even be a rain delay. So, yeah, effects of that tropical storm that just went through here last week. So you can see, looking back over at the bats, we have 64% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. Both offenses tied for ninth with 5.3 runs in their last 3 games each. 259, 279. That's 11th on batting average. Lean Washington there. And strikeouts is 9.7. Washington striking out a little more than usual. So there's not really any advantages, I would say, overall for bats. So let's go over the pitchers, see if anything stands out there. Harrison's going out there for San Fran. Hasn't faced Washington recently, but you can see gave up a couple sixes, but before that was a pretty good until the 4. So the Cincy game was rough, but I mean, before that, it was a couple of games against Colorado, who we know is one of the bottom 5 teams, and Minnesota was, so. And we go DJ Hurst. The pitcher is never going to get a picture, I think. Never. They just don't want to update it. So, don't know what he looks like. So, obviously, I do from watching the game. So, you can see, there you go. He's been pretty good. Can't complain about his numbers. He's faced some good offenses. So, yeah, I would. I don't see much of an advantage in pitching either, really. I mean, he had a rough game, but still, let's go to props. Let's dig in deeper. Break out the shovel. Harrison, there is a little history, but not much. Abrams is 2 for 3 with a home run. 2 for 2, not much else. Against lefties, some are good, some are terrible. Like, some are just awful numbers, but then some love it. Hey, 300, there you go. Look at props. Earned runs, 2.5. I ain't feeling that. Strikeouts, 3.5 against Washington, who is now striking out 9.7. That seems like a low number, doesn't it? It seems low. Hits, I don't like that one. Walks. We'll come back to the strikeouts. We'll come back to this one. Hers, no history, obviously. Against lefties, we know San Fran loves them some lefties. They're just better. 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, so you can see the numbers there. Hers, nope. Strikeouts, 5.5. See, I don't like that. Hits, though, 4.5 on hits. I think I might like that. He's gone over in 6 out of his 10 games this year for the whole season against teams that don't hit lefties as much as San Fran does. Yeah, we're going to be, hold on, let me just type up hers over 4.5 hits allowed. I can see him getting 5 hits, especially to San Fran with their bats to see how they love lefties. This Harrison strikeout, though, this one makes me scratch my chinny chin. Like, what? I mean, I see he struggled here, but that was Cleveland. They don't strike out. Minnesota, Houston, Colorado strikes out against everybody. This feels weird to me. I think I'm going to leave it alone. It feels weird. Let's look at the bats. Bats, we have Wood, Young, Cobb, Chapman. Nothing really stands out. Some bases. I don't like bases. I put them there because you might like the bases. I don't. I like the HRs. So there you go. So outside of this, I don't like a side. I don't like a total. I'm not taking the Nervy because the offenses are too good. Only thing I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take that Hers over 4.5 hits allowed and move on to the next game. Next up, we got Milwaukee and Atlanta. And tell me, how many of you took Atlanta with just because Chris Sale was pitching yesterday? Go ahead, expose yourself. Tell me what you did, because I told you don't do it. I took Milwaukee on the money line for a reason. The numbers didn't lie. Look what they did. They did what they did. It was an 8-5 win for Milwaukee. So, hey, we'll take those. Wins are wins. So today, Milwaukee is an underdog yet again. So we have 9.5 of the total. Looking at the weather, we see is blowing out at 8 miles an hour. Should be a nice day in Atlanta. No rain expected. Pretty good time. So we head over to the pitchers. We'll go to the bats first. 41% Nerfy based on what they've done so far. You can see the numbers. 7 runs a game for Milwaukee in the last 3 for third. 342 as a team average per second in the last 3. Atlanta, 1.7 runs for 29, 232 for 22nd. At this rate, I don't see Atlanta making the playoffs. Not with these stats. You can't keep these numbers up and expect to make the postseason. There's too much competition. So we'll see what happens. They both strike out a ton too. So let's head over to the pitchers. We got Frankie going out there for Milwaukee. He had one of his best starts. I mean, this was rough. 10-4 is not bad. Yeah, 5 innings, 9-3. He's about what he does. Morton is going out there. Great game, rough game. I still give the advantage to Morton in this one in the pitching. So right there, we knock out the money line because Milwaukee is the bats. Atlanta has the pitchers. They knock each other out. So moving up to the props and see what we got. We start with Montas first. See what his history is. And there is some history, especially with Merrifield. There is some history. Not much really stands out, though, in the history. And against righties or lefties, Atlanta's numbers just aren't high. They're either injured or just not doing good this year. So you can see this number here. Riley's 280 and Ozuna's 280. But outside of that, they need help. So we can see earned runs for Montas. This is thinking that Atlanta's bats can do something. That's why it's 5.5. It's like, yeah, this has been good, but you're facing Atlanta. Their offense has not been good recently. And outs. I don't like any of those. Let's go over to Charlie. Charles, what you got for me, buddy? 4 dudes have had history. He's got a home run, but he's only batting a .083. That ain't good. Bucko. So terrible numbers. And we go righties. We got some good numbers. Everyone on the team is good against righties. Even the worst one is 202. That's good. There's no ones out here. We like that. It's pretty consistent. So looking over at this, we got the outs are very up and down. Strikeouts are very up and down. Same with hits and walks and earned runs. It's either pitches great or gives up a bunch. So it's like rolling the dice with him. So we don't know. Let's look over the bats. See if the bats have anything. We have a handful of 70s and 80s. Obviously, I haven't pitched yet. This is Outlier. Use Outlier. Link in the description. Get you a free week. It's awesome. You see everything you can do with it. So Curio hit yesterday. That was a beautiful hit. I think he had 3 HR yesterday. It was nice. I don't know if I want to take it today. I like Morton. I think Morton's pretty good. So I think I might lay off on this one. So I'm not really liking it. Riley is over 2.5 HR. That is ridiculous. I almost want to take an under just because of this right here, but I'll digress. I don't want to do this. So let's leave the props alone. Let's come back here. No props, no money line. I'm not taking the over because I can't trust Atlanta. I'm not taking the under because I can't trust Milwaukee. I'm not taking the Nerfy because I can't trust Milwaukee. So that alone cancels everything out in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce over to the next game. All right, game 3. We got San Diego in Pittsburgh. And it's basically a pick-em with an 8.5 total. 55% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. And a lot of San Diego logos on the screen because they have a lot of single digits. 8.3 runs for first in the last 3. 354 average for first in the last 3. Pittsburgh, 4.3 for 13th, 239 for 19th. Pittsburgh's mid. They're not bad, they're just mid. San Diego, 4-game winning streak for a reason. They are absolutely in fuego. They are on fire. They cannot be stopped. Bucket of water, you can't put them out. They're too hot. So you can see what they've done. Looking over at the weather, we can see it's going to be a nice day. Wind's going to be blowing in a little bit, 10 miles an hour. For those wind people, that matters a lot. It didn't matter in the Chicago game again yesterday. It's putting a little damper in that wind theory. Yeah, it went 1 for 2. Yeah, so let's look over at the pitchers. We have Randy going out there. We can see what Randy's done. I mean, he's been good outside of his Baltimore game. That was about the one bad game he had. And LL over here is going out. He gave up 6. Great starts up until this game. He just struggled. But we know Arizona is one of the top offenses right now. They are just on fire too. So you face them back-to-back games now, and this is what you did. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't give up more. Let's be honest. Let's look at props. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's keep it talking about LL. History. We can see what LL's done. Louis L. Ortiz, and history against San Diego, guys. Kim's got one at bat, one home run. About as best you can do. Against righties, San Diego loves them some righties, do they not? Look at all that green, even the red, 300, 285. Yeah, San Diego might have a field day on them. So let's look at the props. We look at outs, very up and down. It's a pass. Strikeouts, I mean, you don't take strikeout props against San Diego. It's one of them teams, you just don't do it. So if you're smart. Now this one I looked at and I went, huh? I was like, what? 6.5 hits? I mean, I know San Diego loves to hit righties and the number one offense right now, but do you think he actually gets enough to where, let's go 2023. He gave up over 5 times. This season, he hasn't gone over 6. Last 20 games, he's been pretty decent, but this seems ridiculous. That seems crazy. I don't know. I don't think if he's giving up 7 hits, I think he's getting pulled before the 7th hit because he's giving up runs. So the earned runs is 2.5. But he's been so good recently. I don't know. So let's look over at Randy, see what Randy's got going on. Not much of a history. 1 game basically. Righty, versus righties, you can see what they do. Low 2s, high 1s. Even that's a high 1. Not great. There's a 291. There's 294. That's about it. And let's look hits. Very consistent on the hits. Strikeouts, earned runs, walks. Nothing I really want to mess with. And we head over to the dudes with the bats. Let's see what they got going on. Maybe I could take something here against LL. Machado over 1.5 might be fun. Merrill might be fun over. He's at 160. He's at 160. Bogarts might be fun. See, we got options. But LL's been good. Yeah, I'm looking at his history. There's so many options to take here. So I think, let's come back over here. For the pitchers, I think Vasquez is a little bit better. For the odds, it's basically a pick 'em. First off, we're going to put San Diego in my parlay. San Diego's going to be a money line parlay piece. Just go ahead and knock that out. And then on top of it, for a prop, I don't know if I want to take. Something's telling me not to do it. Something's telling me not to do it. LL's doing decent. I'm going to leave the props alone in this game. I'm just going to focus on San Diego. I'm not even going to do team total for San Diego because LL might shut them down. They've been on fire. You can see the numbers, but LL does pretty. So, all right, we'll take San Diego moneyline parlay. We'll take nothing else. We'll see over under 8.5. 8.3, 4.3, 8.5. Nah, we'll just take San Diego money line. Move on, next game. All right, next up we got New York and Colorado. I've already skipped on this game twice this week, so this is the 3rd time. New York is a pretty moderate favorite on the road. 10.5 is your total. We see 47% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 4.7 versus 3.7. That's 12th and 18th in the last 3. Slight advantage New York. 271, 224, 9th to 24th. Slight advantage New York. So overall, just a slight advantage New York in the bats. Looking at the weather this time. Pop over, we can see it's going to be a little breezy, 6 miles an hour, but we got rain. So not breezy, not much wind, but there's a good chance of rain. So looking at pitchers, we got David Peterson. David Peterson's got good numbers. They look really good to the naked eye. And I'll tell you why in a second, because you see these numbers like, oh, these are good numbers. You look at Gomber's numbers like, oh, Gomber's numbers aren't as bad, aren't as good. They're just not good. Let's look a little closer real quick. This is what we call looking at your stats and making sure you just aren't looking straight at numbers. Peterson has faced the Angels, not a good offense. Braves, not good. Miami, at this point, not good. Washington, terrible. Pittsburgh, terrible. Washington, terrible. He hasn't faced any good offenses. Gomber has gone through a damn gauntlet. He faced Milwaukee, Kansas City, Cincinnati, who is now on fire, Boston, who was number 1 when he faced him, San Fran, and he's a lefty when we just saw San Fran eats up lefties, and he only gave up 6 hits. And then San Diego, who we just saw is the number 1 offense. So dude has gone through a gauntlet in the past month, and now he gets to face New York. So you can see, you look at numbers, you say Peterson, I think Gomber's better. just based on the gauntlet he's been through, yeah, this might be the easiest game of the season for him. So of the last month. So just a little thing we look at. Small things, small things. Let's look a little closer. Gomber history. There's a bunch of history for some. I say bunch, 14. Everybody's got some history, but nothing really stands out. Against lefties, they say some aren't that good. Yeah, they're not the Giants, but they do have good numbers like him and him. That's about it. And we got earned runs is 3.5. Hits, strikeouts. His strikeouts is 3.5 against what's New York strikeout props. 17 is what they've done in the last 3. Ooh, that seems a little high. I don't trust 3.5 strikeout props really. They're just ugh. And walks. I'm not really liking any of those. Let's go to Peterson, see what he has. You got anything fun for us, Mr. Peterson? We got a lot of green, but it looks like from one game really. Nothing really stands out. Diaz and McMahon got a home run against lefties. Terrible. Chris Bryant's a $1.29 against lefties. That's hilarious. Okay, nothing stands out. Hits, strikeouts, earned runs, walks. Oof, yeah, let's go to the bats. Tell me the bats have something good. One person's in green in the last 10, and it's Jacob Stallings to get a base. So we can't, I'm not taking that. We got some that are getting close. We got some reds, some greens in the last 5, but I want last 10. So, all right, so overall, I think New York has a slight advantage with the bats. I think Colorado has an advantage with pitching just because of the way I explained it. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree. I understand. We all entitled to our own opinions. So I'm not taking a prop. I don't like any of those. I'm not taking a side because they cancel out. I'm not taking it over because Colorado's offense. I'm not taking the under. It's 10.5. Come on. That's crazy. But still, it's Colorado. So I don't take unders in Coors Field. And I'm not taking a nerfy. So we're just going to pass on this game completely and just move on to the next one. All right, next up, it's Cincinnati, Miami. It's Hunter Green Day. Everyone celebrate. He should get his own day the way he's been pitching recently. Yeah, if everybody celebrates Skeens Day and Scooble Day, Hunter Green gets the damn day because dude has been beast mode lately. You can see Cincy's pretty heavily favored because of this. 7.5 is your total. 54% nerfy based on what they've done this year. 7.3% C in the last 3 for second. 319 for third. 6 runs. You can see all the information there. 3.7, 240, 18 and 16. So you got to give the advantage to Cincinnati. And Miami's striking out 10.3 for 25th. That matters because let's look at weather first, though. It's in a dome. It doesn't matter. So we'll look at pitchers. Hunter Green Day. Let's celebrate. So game log. Let's see what he has done recently. And he hasn't done anything except be amazing because that's what he is. Look at the just beast. Like we talked about Cease for a minute when last week or week before when he had like those 3 straight games of giving up like only 2 hits combined. Dude is right there with him. 5 hits in literally 20 innings is just sick. So. And then this was his worst game was the All-Star game of all things. So yeah, the dude's just a monster. And he's already, he hasn't faced Miami. Let's look at his counterpart, Tyler. Sorry, buddy. You got to go up against him. You just aren't that good and you're facing Cincy's offense. Yeah. Cincy ruined the money line parlay yesterday and that's okay. It happens. I forgive you because you're going to hit it today. I just know. So we're taking Cincy on the money line parlay piece. Faux show. You can delete these out the way. That's yesterday. There we go. Because there's a clear advantage in bats and pitching. Yeah, we're definitely taking Cincy. Let's pop over to the props. Dig a little deeper. We'll stay on Tyler. He doesn't have much of a history. Cincy against righties. Yeah, the numbers aren't the best, but this is for the whole season, and we see what they've done in the last few games. This is what matters more to me. So we do look at this just to see if there's a trend for the whole year, but I'm not going to hold it against someone batting, like this. So, earned runs, strikeouts, hits, walks, outs, hits, 4.5 hits. Looking back, let's go to Hunter Green. I'm more excited about Green. Nothing, which is good for Hunter Green. That's good. They're better against righties, supposedly. But this means they could be bad against lefties. So look at these numbers. 194 is green, 220 is green. Yeah, there's nothing. Edwards is 376. That's impressive, but that's about it. Outs, 18.5. He has been kind of up and down in outs. That's fine. The strikeouts, he got 11 last time. Yeah, he had 11 against San Fran, but they only had 5 against. They only had 5 against Tampa of all teams. Tampa. That's bruh. 7 against Atlanta, but he's struck out. Something's fishy. I don't like that. I don't like them. What is this? Hits? Yeah, he's been good on hits, and he's 1.5. Come on. You gotta do better. You're killing me here. Okay. Hits is the only one. It's even a plus EV play at over. I'm not taking over. Are you crazy? Oh, let's go to bats. I don't know. I'm a little taken back by some of those props. Some of them just don't look good. I mean, he's doing good, but it doesn't look as good than looking at it from a prop standpoint. A couple Cincy dudes. I'm not taking any Miami dudes. Just can't do it today. Cincy, I don't want to take either of them, so we'll pass on that. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with being cautious and conservative. Nothing wrong with that in your betting. I have Cincy in the moneyline parlay for sure. Outside of that, I don't like the props. Just don't like them. Especially, you saw my face. I can't hold my reactions back. They were just, ugh. So I'm just gonna take Cincy in the money line. We're not taking the Nerfy, obviously, because of Cincy's offense. We're not taking the over or under. So we're just gonna take the Cincy money line and move on to the next game. All right, let's move on to Angels in New York. New York is minus 260. They were like 300 yesterday at the second game, and they lost. So, I mean, those heavy money lines, they'll get you. 8.5 is your total. 50% Nerfy based on what they've done. You see it was 8 to 2 yesterday. It was the final score. Runs in the last one. 4.3 for 13th, 3.7 for 18th. Advantage Angels. Through 232, 272, 22nd 8. Advantage Yankees. Yankees are downtrending. Angels are uptrending. You see how it goes. 10 versus 6. Yankees aren't striking out, though. Good for them. Looking at the weather, we see that it is blowing directly in 10 miles an hour and more rain. There's a lot of rain on the forecast today, so you notice I have not taken it over yet. There's a reason. Rain plays a part, yeah, because it messes with pitchers. So, okay, let's pop back over to here. We already looked at those. Let's go to the pitchers. We got Tyler Anderson going out there, 8.3, 6.3, 6.4, 3.0. We see what he's done. He faced decent offenses here. Nothing really stands out. And Nasty Nesta is coming out. You see what he's been recently. He's been okay. He was terrible, but he's getting better. 6 is not good. He's getting better. So, and he faced Boston and Philly and Tampa twice. Yeah, okay. Let's look at the props. Dig a little deeper. Boop, boop. Let's start here. Who we got first? We got Nesta. That's fine. We can start with Nestor. Nestor has a history against these guys, somewhat. Ward's 1 for 10. That's not good. You're 1 for 9. That's not good. So he does good against the Angels. Against lefties, some of them struggle. Some of them struggle hard. Ooh, these are terrible numbers. But then you got like Neto, how do you say his name? He loves it. In 64 bats, 422 and 2. Yeah. And Ward likes it. Okay, we got some that like him, some that hate it. Earned runs. You see it's up. It's starting to come down. Strikeouts. How are the Angels strikeout numbers? 23rd, 10 a game. He had Tampa. You had 1 strikeout against Tampa, a team who was 30th in strikeouts right now, and this factors in this game. Man. I'm just taken aback. I am perplexed. I am bamboozled. I am shamwowed. I don't know. How can you not strike out Tampa? Anyway. Yeah, none of these. I don't like these. All right, pop over here. Let's look at Mr. Anderson's history. Boop, boop, boop. We got some history. Soto is only 220 and 15 at bats. Judge is 0 for 3. Huh. Who would have thunk it? That's, Against lefties, you can see what they do. Judge is only 280 against lefties. Huh. Soto 310. Soto likes lefties, but he don't like Anderson, though. That's for sure. That's interesting. Interesting. Let's pop over here. Earned runs, strikeouts, hits, very up. All these are up and down. Why are these so up and down? He's been consistent recently on walks, but I don't do walks. All right, let's go to bats. A lot of bats, a lot of green bats. 90% Wells and Volpe, however you say his name. Volpe sounds more fun. That's how we're going to say it. Verdugo's at 80. Jazz is at 80. These are bases. I don't want bases. Wells, Calhoun. Now we're at 70s. We're coming down. We got Glaber. We got Jazz at 70. Judge at 70 on over this. We saw the Judge struggles his over 3. We saw Soto struggles against him. Does anyone not struggle against this dude? Hold on, let's look at that. I want just pop back over to him real quick. Boop. The Mayhew's got 400. Verdugo's 429. Any of them on this list? Verdugo's there over 1.5, but now they just did play a doubleheader yesterday. We got to remember that. Got to put that into effect because the fatigue can be a factor. You just played 18 straight innings basically, so it might be wise to just lay off this game. It might be because doubleheaders are it messes with them. Baseball players are creatures of habit. They have their set trends and set things they do, and that mess with it. So I'm not liking any of those. I don't see an advantage in the bats. To be honest, I don't see much of an advantage in pitching. So to me, I think I'm going to pass on this one too and just move on to the next game. Just play it safe because of the doubleheader too. So next game. All right, next up we got Baltimore and Toronto. We see it's basically pick 'em slight lean to Baltimore. 9 is the total. Looking at the numbers, 56% Murphy based on what they've done this year. 6 runs per 6 for Baltimore, 3.7 for 18 for Toronto. Advantage Baltimore, 245 versus 255. That's 13 to 12. No advantage in batting average. And strikeouts, Baltimore strike out a good bit. This is in a dome, so there's no weather to be worried about because this is in Toronto. It's in a dome. You can see in a dome. I'm not lying to you. So let's look at the pitchers. We got Dan Kramer going out there. We can see he's not the best couple. He's given up some recently, but not, 2, 1, 0. 5's not good. 4 is leaning not good. 3 is okay. In today's age, I say 3 is okay. So Gossman's going out there. He 4-3, 4-2-2, some hits. They haven't faced each other, it doesn't look like. Yeah. So nothing really stands out to me in this. Let's pop over some props. Kramer, history. Everyone's green to face him. Vladdy's 320 with 4 home runs and 25 at bats with a 1.2 OPS. That's worth noting. And we can see Kirk 313, 286. Got some offense. Right-handies, we can see what they do. Some are good, some are not. Let's look at some props. Earned runs is very up and down. Strikeouts, hits. They're so up and down right now. When was the last time I didn't have a pitcher prop? That's hilarious to me. I don't have a single one. We're on game 7 of 10. That's crazy. Well, let's go to Goss. Goss has history. He's got some good history too against some of these guys like Gunnar. Struggles. Adley struggles. Mountcastle doesn't. Mullins doesn't. Santana has 3 home runs and 15 at bats, but only batting 267. But Santana's been crushed now. He hit 2 yesterday. So yeah. Fernandez. Might have to put him on the list of dudes to look at. All right. And look at bats. Let's see what we got. Gunner, Jackson Holiday. Yeah, that's what we should be putting on this. Put the money on Jackson because dude's been beasting recently. Oh, we're seeing Santana on here. He's on bases. Hauser's still 8 out of 10 because he didn't hit yesterday. Shame. Holiday bases, Santander, Kirk. You know what? Just because I don't have any plays, I need some plays. I want to have some fun. So there's no real data on it except for the fact we see that he's 70%. I'm taking Jackson. Why not? Why not? His dad was one of my favorite players growing up. Hey, I'm cool with it. Yeah, we'll take some Jackson Holiday over what 1.5 HRR. Why not? So you have that. Gunner, we saw struggles. Ooh, do I take Santana too? I think I want to do both. Hopefully Gossman doesn't come out and pitch no hitter now, so we'll take it. Santander over 1.5 HR. We're taking both of them. Why not? I don't like any other props. I don't really like Baltimore slightly favored. I don't like the side. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have a little fun. I'm taking Santana because the matchup, the bat stood out there because of the history. I'm taking Jackson Holiday because dude's been on fire this week, so I'm just want to jump on that wave while I can. Why not, right? So we'll just take those two, both over 1.5 HRR, and just move on to the next game. All right, next up, Tampa, St. Louis. St. Louis slightly favored at home. 8 is your total. Offenses are not too good. Looks like 2 runs a game for Tampa for 28th in the last 3. St. Louis 24th with 3 runs a game. So slight advantage St. Louis, I guess. 204 and 240. It's 25th and 16th. Again, slight advantage St. Louis. And Tampa, hey, they're not 30th in strikeouts. They're only 25th at 10.3. They're doing a little bit better. So since this is St. Louis, let's look at the weather. We are outside. We can see in 9. Nice day. Weather should not be an issue. Looks pretty good. So let's pop over to some pictures. We got Baz going out there for Tampa. We see what they have. I mean, he's been pretty decent. Can't complain about his numbers. My only concern is he gets pulled quick. He gets pulled quick. As you're taking over on him, you got to hope he hits it early because otherwise he has a very short leash. So that's his thing. He has not faced St. Louis. That's the thing. Gibson's going out there, hasn't faced Tampa. You can see what Gibson's done. 4. He likes getting up 4. 4 is his worst. So these two pitches are about equal in my mind, except Gibson will go 7. Mainly 5s was his thing, but he will go 7. So let's go with props. First one we got Baz. History, Tampa, boop, boop. All right, we got nothing really to look at here. St. Louis first righties. We got some lower 2s. We got some 300s. We got Scott's terrible. Okay. I want 2024. He's only pitched 5 games. Earned runs. His strikeouts is 4.5. Ooh, that's pushing it. That's real close. Against a team that doesn't strike out much in St. Louis, that's a pass for me. Hits, walks, and outs. I'm not digging any of these. Let's pop over here and look at Gibson history. We got more history. We got some home runs. We got 1 and 6 there, 1 and 5 there, 333 and 9 at bats. Terrible average. Okay. Against righties, I mean, we got a bunch of 1s. I mean, Tampa's just kind of struggling, aren't they, with the bats? Oh, earned runs, 2.5. He does give up 4 a good bit. 5.5 strikeouts against Tampa. I said I was banning him after this because I took him. He got a 0. He put up a goose egg. Now, he did get rocked, but he put up a goose egg. Then he bounced back and struck out 7 Cubs. He is facing Tampa. I almost want to take this because I just, you know what? I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. I'm going to do it. Gibson over 5.5 Ks. I'm going back to the well. If he gives me another goose egg, I will ban him for life. Don't care. That's what I'm putting on the table today. Hits, very up and down. Walks. Don't care. And outs. Yeah. Hopefully we get like an 18 game, not a 15 or a 12. Let's get an 18. So, all right, those are the numbers. Look at the bats. Nobody is in the green in the last 10. That made that easy. Next. Oh, wow. All right, so I have Gibson over 5.5 strikeouts. A slight advantage St. Louis in both the bats and the pitching, I would say. But is it enough to take a St. Louis money line? You know what? It's going to the parlay. Why not? I feel good enough about it. So, yeah, we're going to put St. Louis money line, parlay piece only. Gibson, this is basically saying Gibson's going to come out. He's going to shove. He's going to strike out like 7 or 8. Tampa's not going to be able to do much. St. Louis gets the win. That's what I'm going for. We're doing that. Game scripted. Go ahead and print it. Next game. All right, next up, we got the one matchup of two, actual new matchup today. Phillies and Diamondbacks. It is basically a pick'em, which it is 9.5 is your total. 39% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. You can see the numbers. Runs 6 versus 6.3. That's 6th and 4th. There's no advantage in that one. 294, 243, 5th and 14th. Advantage Philly. And they're both in the top 10 and not striking out. So pretty decent bats. No advantages at all out there. Looking at the weather, it's in Arizona. It's in a dome. So we don't have anything there. Looking at the pitchers, we got Jordan Montgomery going out there for Arizona. We can see, there he goes, we can see what he's done the last 3 games, because I don't really count anything over a month, and that's when we go to June. His last 3, he had a 3-1, a 9-6, and a 1-1, but it was only 3 innings, 4 innings, and 5 innings. So I mean, he's a starter, but he doesn't go long, so he has a very short leash, kind of like Baz does with Tampa, except he will get pulled quick. So that you got to take that into consideration. And then Philly's sending out some bloke named Colby Allard. So you can see what he's done. This is 2024. He pitched 2 games, 6 and 3 for 4 innings, 2 and 1 for 4 innings. So he's a starter. We have 2 starters that aren't going to go a full 5-6 innings most likely. So I mean, you might as well call this a bullpen game. You might as well call it that. And a bullpen game is for those that don't know, because I get this comment and it's great. I like comments. Bullpen game is when you have the bullpen start. That's all it is. Your typical starter doesn't start. You have your bullpen. You might see like 5, 6, 7 pitchers. So there you go. And let's look at the props. We have some actually, surprisingly enough. I'm not taking any props on the overs, that's for sure. Now, if you don't know how long the guy's going to go out there for, kind of makes it hard, doesn't it? Even though it's a history. We can see $1.50 for Hayes is not good. 67. None of these numbers are really standing out. Phillies versus lefties. Phillies are pretty good against lefties. These are some really good numbers. Even the Reds pretty good. Now Marsh, step your game up, buddy. Outside of that, pretty good. So Philly might do pretty decent today. This is hits. You can see, Jordan Montgomery has given up a lot of hits sometimes, but sometimes he just comes out and deals. That's Pittsburgh. They ain't got no bats. We know that. KC was impressive. He did it to Philly already. So, okay. How did you do head-to-head? You got 5 strikeouts and you gave up 2 runs. Okay, pretty good game. And that was, when was that? June 21st. Okay. So they saw him a little over a month ago. For the last 10 earned runs, it's up. Those walks, I mean, this is earned runs and pitching outs. Ugh, terrible. Okay, let's pop over here. We don't have anything for him probably. So, no, we have some stats. Nothing worth note though. And against lefties, Arizona likes them some lefties. Some guys do. Some guys hate lefties. Oh my goodness. All right, so they're about split on lefties. So, and these are, I mean, 2.5 on earned runs, 3.5 on strikeouts. If you're taking any of his props over, call the number because we don't know what he's going to do. So, let's look at some bats. The bats might be the move today. Let's see. Suarez over. How does Suarez like lefties? Let's go back to that. Suarez, hope I'm on the right team. Suarez, 219 versus lefties. Nope, not taking that. Perdomo's bases. Perdomo, how's Perdomo? Let's check him out too. Perdomo, 321 versus lefties and 53 at bats. Schwarber, Carroll. I don't know. To me, it's pushing it. We got 2 pitchers. We don't know what's happening. We don't know when the relievers are coming in. I'm just going to pass in this game and just move on to the next one. All right, last game, and this one should go quick. Detroit and Seattle. Detroit has not announced a pitcher. Seattle has Woo going out there, but we'll still cover what we can. Seattle's minus 205. Over under a 7. So we can see Detroit 4 runs a game for 16. Seattle 1.3 for 30. Yet they're favored at minus 200. What? Anyways, batting average, Seattle, $144 for the 30th. Yet they're favored by minus 200. What? Again, I do it twice. Detroit, 296 for 4th. Detroit has the bats. Advantage goes Detroit. Clear as day. Seattle, trash recently with the bats. But yeah, they're favored minus 200 somehow. What? So we see the numbers. Seattle striking out 28th, where they usually are. We'll look at Woo. He has, Woo's going out there. Woo had a great game here. Good game here. Good game here. A little rough there, but outside, they have a bad game occasionally. Let's look at the props. We don't have much to look at. We look at Woo. We hit the matchup. We go bang. It's 2 at bats. Not worth it. Detroit versus righties. I'm not liking what I see. I see that. These numbers aren't that good. They kind of been low all season. Okay. And outs. He had a little dip, then he went this. That's concerning. The fact that he went 7 instead of his usual 6, or even this is weird. Strikeouts, very up and down. He is not a strikeout dude. It's up and down because you're facing Detroit's offense, who's 4th in batting average in the last 3 games. So I don't like these. And yeah, I don't like that at all. We'll look at bats just to show them. Veerlings, bases. Randy. Oh, I wish Randy was still in Tampa. But oh well, it happens. So 70% for Randy going against Woo. I mean, Woo's good. I don't like that matchup. And we don't know who's pitched. I mean, no, they're going against Woo. I just got backwards for a second. Randy's going against a ghost. We don't know who the hell Randy's going to face. These guys are facing Woo. There we go. So, yeah, I don't trust anybody facing Woo right now. And I don't know who Randy's facing, so I can't do that. So, I mean, I lean Detroit in the bats, obviously. I don't know who Detroit's going to throw out to the pitch, but I'll probably take Woo over them no matter who they throw out there. So that's a wash. I don't like the props. I don't have any props for the other pitcher. So to me, I'm just going to pass on this one and call it a day. All right, that's it. All 10 games broken down. You saw the whole breakdown. You saw the plays. If you don't want to watch it all, become a member. I explain this every video. That way you get the printed out list of plays. You can see them. It's a very light day for me. I mean, I know it's Thursday. We have only 10 games, but I only came up with 4 single plays. I have a pitcher prop hit against. I have 2 HRRs and over strikeouts. Those are the 4 plays. And then I have 3 teams in a moneyline parlay, which is San Diego, Cincy, and St. Louis. That's it. Only bat that stood out was Santander for Baltimore. And it's just a weird day. So on weird days, there's nothing wrong with being cautious and just taking a break, taking a step back and relaxing, because you don't want to force bets, because that's how you end up losing. So I'm just going to take those plays. That's 4 straight bets and a moneyline parlay. That's 5 bets. Hey, easy day, easy chill day for me. So I'll have those. On top of it, drop a like, subscribe, share, try to grow the channel. I appreciate you all being here. Obviously, Outlier, link in the description. Check it out. Get you a week. It's worth it. They have an awesome app. Use the app. Check it out. It's great. On top of that, if you want to become a member, you get Patreon, Discord, all that fun stuff, all the extra stuff if you want. If not, hey, no problem. It's there if you want it. Outside of that, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully we all profit, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.